Hello again. So today is radiation day 2. As promised, it's later in the afternoon, so I've already had most of my day. I was like, oh, let me go ahead and do this quick video. Well, quick enough since I have to do 2 things in one today. But I did go to my radiation appointment today, and today was pretty much of the same. It was a much quicker appointment. So instead of yesterday being almost 20 minutes, today was 7 to 10 minutes. It's a very quick process. The same process. You don't really feel anything as the X-ray machine is, going. You don't even see lights on it. It's just like a sound of it being on. But you don't feel anything. I did ask because I did forget like how soon I would start feeling like the effects and start seeing any kind of effects. So like within like the first week. So I'll be checking. Only thing I noticed was that yesterday, after I had woken up and everything that evening, later on in the evening, I was having kind of like sharp pains across here. This is my right side. But just some sharp pains. And that could be from the surgery. Just your nerve endings trying to reconnect and restore after having a surgery. But also like deep within, I was feeling like a sensation that I hadn't felt before, which was like some deeper, like it was like a heaviness that was on my chest and on that side, and it was like some deeper, like little shocks, like little stinging sensations. And so once I every Wednesday I'll meet with the radiologist, and we'll go over, just have an update every Wednesday. So I'll at least meet with him 3 times during the treatment. And so I'll be asking him just a few questions just to see if that part is normal, because I didn't hear anything about that. So it could just be my nerve endings trying to reconnect, because you do deal with neuropathy and things like that. Well, I do. But it has greatly improved. But again, after having surgery and you being cut, we have all these nerves in our body, and they're trying to reconnect and reestablish. So I just have like a lot of sensations. And last night it was very, very hard to sleep. I was so tired. I was so tired this morning, not last night. Went to bed at my normal time, but I had a hard time staying asleep because of that pain, because of the stinging. And laying on my right side, so I kept having to turn over or try to lay on my back to find comfort, because I am a right side sleeper. So once I was feeling much better, I've been able to, before radiation, I've been able to sleep on my right side. But I noticed, like I said, last night I wasn't able to, and I kept having to turn over. And so as far as tiredness of today, since I was already so tired from last night, I did take a nap. I did take a nap this afternoon around 12:30ish. I probably woke up around 1:30ish, but I wasn't as sound asleep. I was asleep, but I wasn't as sound asleep. But I did. So I don't know. I won't know unless I have a better night's sleep if, the accuracy. But like I said, day 1, yes, I know I fell asleep. and that was out of the blue tiredness. So, but yeah, all that went well. So that's my day 2. Not too much, not any changes like from overnight. And so I also wanted to start my day 1 of, well, not just basically day 1, but just start speaking about how I found out I was going to do my breast cancer journey as I complete my radiation, and hopefully they both will tie in together and end together if I time them right. So I'll start out by saying, so last year, which was about December 2022, I had been desiring to, well, probably in November, of 22. I had been desiring to do some things in my home. We had recently moved the year prior, and there were some things I had been wanting to do in my kitchen, and I hadn't gotten around to them yet. And so I was like, well, the year is getting ready to end, so I was like, I really want to get something done in the kitchen. So the Lord put it on my heart to go ahead and do it in December. So I was like, okay, I purpose in my heart, I'm going to start this project in December. And so I gave myself until Christmas to do it, because I put myself on a deadline because I work better under deadlines. I just work better under deadlines and giving myself a time frame versus just trying to drag it along. So I said, okay, Christmas, we're going to have a Christmas Eve gathering at my house this year. So that was the plan. So I started the project and was doing doing cabinets, like painting and doing some stuff to my countertops or whatever. So I got this whole undertaking I'm trying to get done in what, 3.5 weeks. And it was going along. I was getting it done. I was keeping it moving. And so this product that I had ordered and I needed to finish part of the project, I didn't order enough of it. And so it was getting close. It was the week before Christmas, and maybe like that Wednesday of the week before. And so when I went to order it, the order kept saying it wasn't going to make it in time. It wasn't going to make it in time before Christmas. So I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to, push off the gathering. But I went ahead and ordered it just in case. So as I was waiting on this product to arrive, it slowed down everything else. I couldn't move forward doing anything else. And so as I'm waiting to move forward, in the midst of doing all that, doing a big project like that and sanding and just doing a lot of work, my arms, my muscles, everything was getting sore. And so during that time of rest, even though it was only been a few days since I wasn't engaging those muscles, the soreness was starting to come down. So while I was sore, I was noticing a pain. Like, it wasn't really a pain. It was just like a tender area, just right. It's like right over here. It was right over here, kind of under my arm, but not really, just in that area. And so I was noticing like a tender spot. So I'm thinking like, well, maybe it's just, sorry y'all know how I am. I'm sitting here trying to see if somebody rolling up on me. No, they're not rolling up on me. Okay. So I was like, well, maybe, it's sore because of, me doing a lot. And so it had been a couple of days, I couldn't do anything. But as the as the soreness was decreasing, the sensitivity or the tenderness on that spot remained the same. And I was like, okay. And since it was in my breast area, it wasn't like fully in there. It was like, it just seemed to be close to it. I was like, well, let me get it checked out. Let me just see. Let me tell my doctor. Let me just get in, because it was, I don't play around with things like that. I was like, well, just let me get it checked out. So I didn't even get to get in. So this is December. So I think I called my doctor probably like December 20 something. It might have actually even been after Christmas that I called, because they weren't able to get me in until probably almost 2 weeks later. So I didn't even get in to see them until it was the day after my husband's birthday. So it was December 18th. January 2023. January 18th was when I had the appointment to get a, was that? No, it wasn't. I apologize. I did see my doctor in December. When I seen her, she checked everything out first. That's what it was. And I'm just going off of memory, you guys. I really am. So what happened at first was she brought me in. She did a breast exam, And I pinpointed exactly where it was, and I said, yes, it hurts here. They gave me an x-ray right in the office. They had an x-ray machine there. Just because of all the stuff that I was doing, she was making sure I hadn't like pulled it or strained anything or something was going on in that direction. And so they didn't see anything on the x-ray machine. So she said, we're going to go ahead and send you over to get a mammogram and a 3D x-ray. And that's how my office does. So that's what was scheduled for January. So I did get into my office in December, my doctor's office in December. And so they scheduled for January 17th. So on January 17th, I did go in and get the mammogram. And so once I got the mammogram done, they went ahead. They didn't see anything. They tell you the results that same day. I don't know if any of you or a lot of you have had a mammogram done. And a lot of us haven't because of our age. At that time, I was 39. So it's not really common for you to get a mammogram until I believe after you're 40 years old. So they're, unless it's on a need basis. So, and I've had one before because my doctor thought she felt something on my left side at one time. And I had been well back in 2020. So I was probably 37 at that time. But that was on the other side. So everything was all clear. So I knew the process. So went in, got the mammogram done, and then they take you over to the next area and do the 3D. So as the radiologist was doing the 3D scan, like I said, I've had one done before, and I remember it was the same woman. I remember how it went, and it was maybe 10 minutes. Like, it was very quick. But this time she was checking, and she kept asking me, where did I feel it, because I didn't see anything on the other scan. So I pinpointed where I felt it. So she's checking there, and then she's like, okay. And then she's looking. I see her moving the wand around, and she's turning it different directions. She's, looking, and she's taking the pictures, as they do, because they have to have the radiologist read it. And I believe themselves, they already know as well. They see different things. They know what they're looking for, and they probably already have a thought. They just have to have it confirmed. And so I'm just laying there, and, she's chatting with me a little bit, and I'm like, okay. And so she was like, I'm just checking the borders. And I was like, okay. But in my head, I'm thinking like, borders? I don't remember them saying that word last time. So once they said borders, I was thinking like, okay, something is there. I was like, wow, Lord. That's just my thought, like, wow, Lord, something's there. It was just, like, wow, there's really something where I'm feeling this pain. And so then she did it. She took the wand off. She did it again, and she said, where do you feel it? And I pinpointed it again. Like, she did this a couple of times, like, asked me, where do I feel it? And she's like, she just said, you are spot on. She said, where you're feeling, there is something there. There's something right there. I'm just sending the pictures to I need to get them read by the main radiologist. So sent the pictures over. And what they tell you, they're like, the radiologist may or may not come out. They may need to talk to you. They may need to speak to you just based on the pictures. They told me this last time. So I was like, okay. They just say that. I think that's just their disclaimer already. So he did come out afterwards, and he says there are some irregular borders, is what he said, that we see there's an area and it does have like some irregular borders, so we will need to do a biopsy. And so that was the next step. They was like, how soon can you come in? I'm like, as soon as you can let me know. I'm like, as soon as you need me here. That's like, can you come in tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. And at the time, I'm working from home, so I did have the flexibility of like making up the time. Like, I could just take off the time and then just work a little over and make it up, or just use use your time off. But I just had flexibility to just be like, hey, whatever I need to get done, I can get done. So that was January 18th. So on January 19th, they did bring me right back in and excuse me, I got the biopsy done, and that hurts. So they do numb you. The radiologist, the man that read it, it was a man, the one that read it, he's the one that performs the biopsy. So they numb you in that area. They take like this little it's like this little tube thing. They penetrate it with the tube thing or whatever, I don't know what it's called, but then they stick something in there, and they have to basically take samples. They're taking a few samples out of it now, and that does hurt. I said the spot didn't even hurt as much as that did, but it was more like a sharp pain. It was a sharp pain. So got that done. They do markings. They do markings on your body to have them reference where it was from the day before. So, I mean, even though I washed, it was still kind of there because it was whatever kind of ink. It was kind of hard to scrub off. So they still kind of had the markings there from the day before. And so they were able to see. And so they ran that. So if that was whatever the day of the week the 19th was, that was the day that they did that. So I had to wait until, it must have been Thursday, because they told me that's what it was. It must have been a Thursday, because they told me it would take 2 days. With it being a Friday, they're not going to tell you something on a Saturday. So I had to wait until Monday to find out. So as of that day, I'm just waiting to see, what the results were. And that makes you kind of anxious. You're like, well, what if it is? What if it ain't? I wasn't worried about it, but I did have the thoughts like, okay, what if it is? What if it is cancer? That's just my mind. But on the outside, I'm just like, okay, God, you got me. You already know what it is. You got me covered. Me and my husband, we were just having small talk. I did tell him, I think I went myself. I don't think he took me, just because of the time I had to go. He didn't take me that day, but we just chatted a little bit about it. Nothing major, because our trust is and always will be in God. And so we just, how you do something you don't know, you don't want to worry, you want to pray and worry, as they say. Don't pray and worry. So I wasn't worried about it, but I was concerned about it, and it was on my heart. And so that's what we'll stop at for today, and then I'll pick up tomorrow from there. So just tune in tomorrow. I pray that you guys have a blessed day. I pray that you are, as I was and still am at the time, trusting God for whatever it is that's going on in your life. And sometimes we do have those in certain times and in certain moments where we're faced with situations like this. It's like a cliffhanger, like what's about to happen, what's going on, what is the outcome about to be, what is this, somebody's presenting something to you, and you don't know what's getting ready to happen. Am I getting ready to have my lights cut off? I got a disconnect notice. What's going on? Sometimes we're faced right there at the brink of something, and we don't know which way it's about to go. But I encourage you at this moment just to trust God, just to trust Him. Regardless of whichever way the tables are going to turn, He's with us. He's with you, every step of the way. And so, again, just be encouraged. And I will be back for day 3. Again, by the time you see these, I will already have a few. So hopefully you can just go back to back. These are kind of long. And I know some people don't watch it all, but I just have to go as I'm led to. And I am a talker once I get going. But all right, I will be back tomorrow.